Welcome to Gonti Black Friday. Hope you're excited to get some four-finger discounts. As far as our opening hand goes, I like this. Well, we don't have the third mana for Phyrexian Arena, but if we can hit that third mana, then we can get down Phyrexian Arena. I feel pretty good about that. And then also, Grey Merchant, Cryptghast, Shriekmaw. This is definitely more of a good utility creature opening hand, but we'll certainly keep on this one. And it's just right on the cusp of, if we mulligan it, then we'll probably end up with like coffers and a bunch of bad stuff. Let's go Viscera Seer. Get down Viscera Seer. Let's get Gonti pop back up, and then anything else, we're going to go on and pass the turn over to our opponent. Also, this is a Good Morning Vietnam video, so if my voice sounds a little bit raspy, I tried to warm it up before I got up, but sometimes it takes a little bit to kind of work out of the fog. So if you notice a difference, that is it. I'm not sick. It's just a little early here in the morning. Let's go Swamp, and opponent's going to lead off with Sunpetal Growth, so let's go and swing in for one with a Viscera Seer. Swinging in for one, put him down to 29, and then anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. So we're playing Gonti, Mr. Black Friday himself, Death Touch. Whenever Gonti enters the battlefield, you get a four-finger discount. Look at the top four cards of our opponent's library. We get to exile one of those face down. Then we get to spend our manas or any color to cast that spell and put the rest on the bottom. And do we hit the... Oh, thank you, Magic Gods. Thank you so much. Let's go Phyrexian Arena, and then let's go and push in for one. There we go. Knock him down to 28 and kick it back over there. Playing against Samut, Voice of Dissent, Angry Samut. She's very mad. Flash, somebody ate her leftovers, and she's going to the living room to see who ate her leftovers from the restaurant the other night. Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. Other creatures you control have haste. And for a one white mana activation, untap another target creature. And now that we've got Phyrexian Arena going, I feel a lot better about keeping this opening hand. So hopefully we can get some good mana ramp going. Worst Fears is definitely a good thing for us to get down. That'll be a good way to kind of... I don't know, you just don't think it'd be that good in mono black, but there's just a lot of times where it can really help you get some good stuff going. Let's go and push in with Viscera Seer for one. And if you're keeping score at home, and if you're getting ready to check the Viscera Seer beat sticks checkbox, you're definitely right. We got 27 more turns to go. Now we do have 4 mana available. We can go for Cryptghast. That does put us on for Worst Fears for the next turn. Yeah, let's go Cryptghast, because if we can open, I mentioned wanting to get some mana ramp going. If we don't run into a mana rock, that's at least going to give us 8 mana next turn. I don't know if we'll go for Worst Fears. I think we kind of might want to, what just happened? Enters the battlefield, sacrifice 2 untapped lands. Okay, that was really, and I love the art on it. That's a great looking art. So we'll probably see Samut coming down pretty quick. And that was a... maybe they got Life from the Loam. I don't know. That's a pretty... you don't really typically see Scorched Ruins a lot in Commander. At least I don't really see it a lot. And that... Oh, man, that art looks good. And of course, it's John Avon. But yeah, so we covered both Commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGO Traders. If you want to get into Magic Online, be sure to check them out. They have an awesome selection of cards for you to choose from. And they can help you build whatever sort of deck you want to build. And Demonic Tutor... Okay, so I think if we ended up going Worst Fears, they've got 5 cards left in their hand. I think that's a perfectly fine play to go for. Now, we can just straight up just go Shriekmaw, and that's going to get rid of Samut. Double Strike, yeah, let's do... I think that might be the better line of play. So we're going to cast that with Evoke. Let's go Shriekmaw for 1-2. And I guess technically we can't... Yeah, we'll go and pay for the Extort, because we're probably looking at Gonti this turn anyway. So that's going to knock him down to 26. We're going to destroy Samut. She's mad. She's angry to get sent back, so we're going to take care of Samut. Let's go Gonti with that last mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can use that last Extort trigger to ping our opponent, yeah. And I'll be sure to tell you about my pre-release Extort story. I haven't told it in a long time, so if you've heard it before, I do apologize, but it's been a minute since we've done... Ooh, prime time, yes. We're going to take prime time, 100%. All right, so we're going to get prime time over here, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So prime time is legal in 1 versus 1 Commander, which is what I'm recording these games in. So if you're wondering why prime time's big ugly head is on the computer screen right now, like I do a lot of times, it's because he's legal in 1 versus 1 Commander. So just wanted to let you know that. That's something you definitely want to keep in mind. Now, like I meant, oh yeah, MTGO Traders. Also, shout out to inkgaming.com. You can use coupon code JOLT or click on the link down in the description below. And this is the first time I'm going to be able to show it off. We've got a pretty cool Gonti playmat, which, if I remember post-edit, you will see it up on the screen right now. It's got a Gonti with those knuckles. And do we let this go through? Yeah, that's fine. It's a 3/4 double strike. We're going to let that happen. And but yeah, it's some Gonti Black Friday. Got the gold knuckles, and I don't know. Thought that was pretty cool to make. It just kind of popped in my head. So as far as next turn goes, we can try to go for another Worst Fears. Gonti does have Death Touch, but that does have double strike, which will kind of get around that Death Touch. So let's see what we draw into with Phyrexian. We do have Gray Merchant to gain a little bit of life, and at this point right now, Samut does not have Trample. So we've got 10 mana to work with. So we can get down Primeval Titan, or if we just want to go for Demonic Tutor and grab another piece of spot removal. Yeah, let's go Worst Fears. I feel like that's going to be a great way to kind of set our opponent back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Worst Fears is such a good card in a mono black deck. There's just a lot, in a multiplayer setting, it may not be that great. But, and I think we're probably going to hold off on that Extort trigger because we're going to hold on to Demonic Tutor. So, and we'll see what else they've got. But we're going to go for this Extort trigger. Or let the Worst Fears resolve first. Not going to pay for that Extort. And then we're going to control our opponent during the next turn. So if they have some sort of sacrifice outlet, something like that. Let's go Demonic Tutor. Actually, let's hold on to Demonic Tutor. Let's just kind of wait to see what they've got in their hand first. And then we'll kind of see what they've got going on. Because that way, we can kind of make a little bit more of an informed Demonic Tutor. So they've got Goreclaw, Mystic, and then they've also got Taiga, Vizier of the Mana Green. Okay. And neither of these have haste. All right, so we're basically just looking at just straight up Samut. So I think at this point, what we'll probably end up doing is there any way that we can... We don't want to make the land drop, and I don't really think there's anything that we can really do at this point. They have no enchantments. We can't sacrifice any sort of lands. I guess what we can do is basically just tap down their land. So let's do that. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because everything else, they just got straight up creatures and they're reflecting pool. So we're not going to make the land drop for the turn, take down their mana. So unfortunately, that 8 mana Worst Fears was not the best. And if they do swing in with Samut, even though we do have Death Touch, that first strike's going to take care of it. So that does put us in a spot to where we can go for Primetime though next turn and end up with a nice Demonic Tutor for some spot removal. So I think that'll be pretty good. So let's end up going for that. Oh, I meant to take a picture of their hand, but we know what's in there. Just a lot of... Ooh. We go Primetime and Grave Titan, which would be really good. So we've got 12 mana. Oh, do we want to go for that? That sound... I do like getting rid... Well, actually, if we just get these... Yeah, let's do that. That'll be a lot of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go Grave Titan. So we're going to hold off on the... yeah, you should get the opportunity to cast Primetime and Grave Titan in the same turn. So not going to pay for that Extort trigger. Well, especially Primetime and Commander because he's banned in regular Commander. But yeah, so this is 1 versus 1 Commander. And that's why you see him, pretty much. And why he's legal in 1 versus Commander, I'm not entirely sure. It's... I don't know. It's something else. It's there's a few other cards in here that are unbanned, and I don't know why they're unbanned. There didn't really seem like, of all things, maybe Primetime there's a few cards that would maybe be okay in a multiplayer setting, but especially in 1 versus 1, if you don't have really any sort of spot removal on Primetime, and it's pretty rough. All right, so we've got let's grab Coffers. Yeah, that's gonna be good. We'll grab Coffers. And then let's grab Urborg. That way we can just make all of the mana. And I don't think we want to push in, so we're simply just going to go ahead and pass the turn and then kick it back over to our opponent. So that Worst Fears from our opponent didn't really do anything. We do have a really nice board state developed. We have Primetime. We're going to be able to just keep swinging in. Thankfully, this time too, with Primetime and Grave Titan, we're going to be able to get around that Death Touch from our opponent. So hopefully this will be a pretty fun match, and we can get some stuff moving. Oh, but yeah, as far as that Extort trigger, at my Ravnica Return to Ravnica pre-release, you got to pick a guild kit based on whatever sort of color you wanted. And I of course, being the nice Church of Athreos person that I was, I chose Orzhov because I really enjoyed building an Aristocrats deck back then that sparked my interest in Magic, so that's kind of why I picked that. But that was a minute ago, so that was Return to Ravnica. But both me and my opponent had played the. We both picked Orzhov, and we thought that you could basically. So this double strike, haste, and vigilance, and this nothing has flying haste. So we're going to go for some blocks on this. Oh no, excuse me. They do gain trample, so that is double strike, haste, vigilance, and trample. So we need to deal with Goreclaw for sure. And we can actually tutor next turn for a board wipe. So let's go for some pretty heavy blocks. Let's go zombie, zombie. And that's going to be double strike, first strike. Yeah, we need to chew up a little bit of that damage. So we're going to go Gonti on Mystic. And then we'll go... Now, we've already gotten our miles out of prime time. Yeah, I kind of like forcing this big block from our opponent. I like going for that. And actually, hold on one second. Sorry about that. My production assistant, Dorothy, when she wants to look out the blinds, she just bangs on the blinds with her paws. And so it... I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but it drives me nuts when I can hear it in my headset because it's just so piercing sometimes. But yeah, so my pre-release opponent and I, we thought Extort was, just dump all of your mana into Extort as long as you cast a spell. So we would have turns where, late game, we're losing 7 life and then they're gaining 7 life. I mean, just all sorts of just crazy shenanigans. And it was just... one of the most fun games of Magic I've ever played. And so we have fun dumping mana into Extort. And so we both go to our second round, and I try to do that to my second round opponent. And then they very promptly told me, like, hey, you can't do that. That's not how that works. And I was like, that's how we did it last round. It's like, no, that's wrong. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. All right, so we've got a good chunk of mana. We've got 12. We've got coffers to add some extra mana. I think we might be able to go for a pretty good... Let's kind of double check the amount of mana that we're looking at with Swamp at this point right now. That's going to be 10. We go Demonic Tutor. And then I don't think that's going to be enough for Exsanguinate, but we can actually dump a few more lands onto the battlefield with Primetime. Yeah, let's go for that. All right, so let's go ahead and push in with Primetime. And this is what makes Gonti so much fun, is that you get to just end up with these just really fun board states. Let's go and swing in the prime time. We're going to get a few extra swamps on the battlefield because we might be able to go for a Exsanguinate to close the game out. So these will enter the battlefield tap. So we're going to go for, I think at this point, it'd help us to grab some sort of utility thing. So we're going to go Homeward Path, and let's grab... I guess Stronghold, because we do have a pretty good chunk of, yeah, we'll do that. We'll grab Stronghold, because we do have a pretty good chunk of basics. So that'll amplify our swamp count. And then if we get in for a little bit of extra down with Prime Time, that'll make it to where we can tap out for a really nice Exsanguinate. So in fact, let's go and go for that right now. We're going to tap down coffers for each swamp that we control. That's going to be 1, 2. Oh, look at that. Let's go Demonic Tutor. And then we'll just hold off on the, and I'm not going to pay for the Extort. I don't know if that's going to be just enough to close it out, but I like going for it. Actually, Torment of Hellfire is going to be yeah, Torment of Hellfire might be the better option. So let's go Torment of Hellfire. Let's tap down Swamp. That's going to be 1, 2. Oh, look at that. This is exactly what you want to do with Mono Black. So we're going to go Torment of Hellfire. And then X is going to be 22. So we're going to go Torment of Hellfire for 22. And that'll be another Extort trigger. Not going to pay for that. And then that should seal the deal. And, also, fitting very theme that we have a Torment of Hellfire from Nicol Bolas coming out in the new set, which I'm really excited about playing Nicol Bolas. Good game to our opponent. There we go. Opponent's going to scoop it up. We're going to get enough of the Torment of Hellfire triggers to close it out. But yeah, you can definitely see where Prime Time, especially in 1 versus 1 Commander, I do not know why it's unbanned. In 1 versus 1 Commander, I mean, I don't know. It's a very odd choice, but that does happen sometimes. So, but anyway, yeah, if you want to play, you can play regular Commander on Magic Online and not worry about Prime Time, or you can play 1 versus 1 and just kind of play the. I like to call 1 versus 1 Commander like the wild, wild west of Commander. There's just a lot of, in a world where Prime Time's okay, but Sylvan Library's not okay. I don't know. It's just anyway, have some fun. Hope you have a good weekend. It's pre-release weekend. I will not be attending my pre-release. I have I'm going to go visit a friend this weekend, and then also be working on some new Commander content. And also, then, just I realized, let me know. If there's any sort of commander that you definitely want to see. I'm going to be building pretty much all the commanders because there's too many good ones not to build. But if you want to, if there's a particular commander you want to see, if there's a particular build you want to see, let me know, because I'm going to be really kind of hitting my channel hard and hitting MTGO Traders pretty hard this upcoming set to get a lot of these commanders released. I think we've got like 13, 14, or 15 commanders, the God Eternals. We've got some really good multicolored commanders. Anyway, I'm really excited about the commanders coming up next. And also, same thing with standard. If there's any sort of standard decks that you want to see, I'm really excited to hit this upcoming standard really hard. So even if just any sort of just random deck idea, post it in the comments. I will certainly check them out and try to give you a shout out if we end up building a deck that way. But good luck at your pre-release. May you open up a really good pool and not just end up with a big old pile of mess like I typically do. And have a good weekend. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.